Hello, I'm Gary Foster. Thank you for choosing my channel today. Our video today is going to be a little bit long. It runs around 13 minutes. It's not cinematic, but more instructional. With that, let's roll the intro and we'll get right to it. Okay, here we go. We're in flight. I'm hovering here at about 10 feet while it updates, and up we go. I'm checking the telemetry on my iPad as we go through this flight. We're climbing. I'm trying to get a view of the area. Right about here, as I was doing this flight, the drone went a little bit nuts. I didn't realize that through my gloves I couldn't feel that left yaw. There you can see the sun is fairly low in the sky. It's about 5 p.m. Here's me trying to get it back. Right in the center of the frame there, just to the left of center, you can see a large grain elevator. That's the subject of the elevator video that I did earlier this year, back in the spring. Now we're getting a good view of the solar farm here. This is a 600-acre site. Now we're dropping some altitude here. I'm coming down. Here we're hitting 100 meters. Going down a little lower. I'm trying to get the whole scope of this in one frame, but 600 acres is a pretty big shot to get. Now I'm backing out. Now you can see these solar panels are not parallel to the road. They're at an angle. These solar panels face directly south, and they're tilted at 43 degrees, which makes them perpendicular to the sun at both equinoxes. That truck that just went by was doing around 60, 70 kilometers an hour. So it gives you an idea of how long it takes to drive from one end of this farm to the other. 600 acres is a lot of space. I'm not sure what kind of power output they have from this solar farm, but they've certainly got a lot invested in it. You take a look at those individual panels, are fairly expensive, and there's thousands, if not tens of thousands of them lined up here. Create some interesting patterns too. At this point I'm going sideways at about 15 kilometers an hour. And my altitude here is 82 meters. I'm not going to convert this to imperial. You can do the math yourself. About 3 feet 3 inches per meter. You can see the sun shining off those panels there on the left. At this point, I'm 400 meters, just over 400 meters from my home point, so basically a quarter mile. This was quite a frigid day. At this point, I'm still at 70% battery. I'll try and get this lined up, and we'll pan to the left now. Get a little longer shot here. Now we're going parallel to the road. You can see the road at the bottom. Doing about 30 kilometers an hour now, and we start to yaw to the right to keep this in frame. Still maintaining a height here of 110 meters. I was sort of trying to capture a corduroy effect, getting these from the side. Now you'll see the drone stop right here. I'm at 110 meters still, but I'm getting a warning of something directly in front of the drone within a meter. It's not actually there, but my forward sensors were going off. So in order to get away from this imaginary thing, I decided to descend fairly quickly and pan to the right. So I've gone from 110 meters down to about 75 meters here. And going sideways at 28 kilometers, 30 kilometers per hour still. And backing away slightly. At this point, the drone has traveled about 1.7 kilometers, but I'm still only 250 meters away from where I started. You can see the Jeep there in the bottom, right by the side of the road. Now, if you look closely on the left, you'll see some geese enter right there. There's 11 geese. Had I seen these, I was looking the other way. I was watching the drone and watching the screen. Had I seen those geese coming, I probably would have put the drone in sport mode and tried to join that flock. I've always wanted to fly with a flock of birds, especially the Canada geese. See if I could get into their formation. Here I am going forward and slightly panning to the left, still maintaining a height of 79 meters. So we'll do this left pan again, see if it's any better than the first one. Bring the bring the gimbal down a little bit. There we go. Like I said, it was quite cold, but no appreciable winds. Winds were 10 to 15 kilometers per hour, which is under 10 miles per hour. So. Now at this point I've stopped the drone. I'm having some really bad frost happening in my hands and can't hold the controller anymore. So I've pushed the return to home button and decided to let the Mavic Air do its thing on its own to bring it home. I just wasn't able to hold on anymore. It was that cold. What I will probably do is go back in the spring and shoot this with a little more color. This one probably doesn't have good enough footage to edit into a 2 or 3 minute video that I would usually do. The color is not really cinematic enough for that kind of treatment. And you'll see the drone will now turn itself to its original orientation. I suspected when I was flying and watching the drone that it wasn't close enough to the home point, but I aimed the camera down and found that the landing pad was dead center in the middle of the frame, so I just let it go from there. I was standing underneath the hatchback of the Jeep trying to keep warm and out of the way, keeping an eye on what's going on here just to make sure I don't have to intervene. The camera lifts itself up 10 feet from the ground and proceeds its precision landing, and it hits right on the money, as always. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Comment, ring the bell. Let me know what you think of this video. If you like it, we may do more. Thanks again. More coming in the spring.